What happens when the truth you've buried for years finally explodes in front of the world? On the latest taping of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, a shocking DNA test changed everything. In a moment so raw, it had the audience frozen. Kirk Frost was confronted with undeniable proof, and Rashida's reaction left viewers stunned. Cameras captured her trembling, screaming, and finally storming off the set in front of everyone, refusing to look back. But here's where it gets even wilder. Insiders say producers planned this bombshell for months. Jasmine was secretly involved, and Kirk may have known the results long before the reveal. Social media is already in flames, with fans dragging Kirk, siding with Rashida, and demanding answers. This wasn't just another messy LHHATL moment. This was the scandal of the year. And it's only the beginning. For years, Rashida and Kirk Frost have been the couple that fans of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta can't stop watching. Their love story has been marked by high highs, brutal lows, and scandal after scandal. From the outside, they were once the power couple who symbolized hustle, growth, and resilience. But behind the camera, things were never picture perfect. And everyone knows the biggest crack in their marriage was Kirk's repeated betrayals. Let's rewind. Years back, Kirk was caught cheating with Jasmine Washington, a woman whose very name still makes Rashida's blood boil. The scandal wasn't just another case of infidelity, it came with a child. A baby boy whose paternity was always whispered about, speculated on, but never fully settled in the public eye. Kirk denied, deflected, and danced around the truth for years. Meanwhile, Rashida carried the humiliation of being betrayed on one of the biggest reality TV stages in the world. Fans thought maybe, just maybe, the couple had worked through it. Rashida publicly forgave him. She held her head high, ran her businesses, and even told fans she was moving forward. But insiders say forgiveness didn't mean forgetting. The shadow of Jasmine's child loomed over them like a storm cloud that never cleared. Fast forward to now, the new season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Producers were itching for a moment that would shake the franchise. Ratings were slipping, and what better way to stir chaos than to reopen the wound that defined Rashida and Kirk's storyline for years? According to one insider, producers pushed hard for Kirk to finally agree to a DNA test, one that would be filmed in real time with no editing. No chance to escape the truth. He didn't want to do it at first. A crew member leaked anonymously, but they told him this would be his redemption. They said if the results came back in his favor, fans might finally let it go. Kirk was nervous, but he signed the papers. But here's the catch. Multiple insiders claim Kirk already knew what those results would be. One alleged text, reportedly leaked from Jasmine's phone, shows Kirk telling her, "They've gone, find out soon. Just play it cool. I'll handle Rashida." True? This means Kirk walked onto that set knowing he was about to be exposed in front of his wife, the cast, and millions of viewers. Meanwhile, Rashida was completely in the dark. She agreed to film, thinking it would be another tense sit-down. Maybe some old wounds reopening. But she had no idea that a sealed envelope with DNA test results would be placed on the table in front of her, according to sources close to production. Rashida wasn't warned about the live reveal. She thought the results would come later, privately. Instead, she was blindsided in front of everyone. Her face said it all. One producer revealed, "You could see it in her eyes when the envelope came out. She was blindsided." That's when the tension in the room went through the roof. The cast sat frozen as the moment unfolded. Young Jock leaned forward, eyebrows raised. Scrappy looked away, not wanting to be caught on camera reacting. Even the crew behind the cameras reportedly held their breath as the host slid the envelope across the table toward Kirk. Rashida's voice cracked as she asked, "What is this?" No one answered her. Kirk fumbled, his hands shaking as he opened the envelope. The camera zoomed in. Every second felt like an hour, and then it happened. The truth written in black and white. Kirk Frost was, in fact, the father. The whispers, the suspicions, the denials, all of it came crashing down in a single moment. The silence was deafening. Then the gasps started. "Are you kidding me?" Rashida screamed, her voice echoing through the set. She stood up so quickly her chair fell backward. Tears welled up in her eyes as she pointed at Kirk. "You knew. You knew this whole time, and you let me look stupid in front of the world." Kirk tried to speak, stammering through his words. "Babe, I didn't know for sure," but Rashida cut him off. "Don't you dare lie to me again. Not here, not in front of them, not in front of everybody watching this mess. I'm done. I'm done." The cameras didn't stop rolling. Crew members tried to calm her down, but Rashida shoved past them, storming off the set, her mic still, on capturing every sob, every word of fury. "I should have left you years ago. I should have trusted my gut. You don't deserve me. You never did." Kirk sat there, pale, speechless, with the entire cast staring at him in disbelief. Social media was seconds away from exploding. Fans in the audience who witnessed it live immediately began tweeting cryptic messages, "Y'all not ready for what Rashida just did?" And this reunion just turned into the wildest episode in LHHATL history. But the real bombshell, WASNT Rashida storming off. It wasn't even the DNA results themselves. No, the real shock was still waiting backstage, where Rashida confronted producers about the setup, accusing them of betraying her trust for ratings. And that confrontation, let's just say it makes the DNA reveal look tame in comparison. Because what Rashida said next left the entire crew scrambling. The studio lights felt hotter than usual. Even the cast, who had sat through countless messy confrontations, knew this moment was different. The envelope lay on the table like a ticking time bomb. Kirk's fingers trembled as he held it, his lips pressed into a tight line, his eyes darting around the room as if searching for an escape. Rashida sat across from him, her arms crossed, her body tense. She had no clue what she was about to face, but something in her gut told her this wasn't going to end well. "What's in that envelope, Kirk?" she asked, her tone sharp, demanding. The host, looking far too eager, chimed in. "Tonight, for the first time ever, we're bringing closure to one of the longest-running questions in love and hip-hop, Atlanta history. Kirk Frost, the DNA results are in." Gasps erupted from the audience. Rashida's eyes widened in disbelief. "Ayo. Did what?" she shouted, slamming her hands on the table. "You went behind my back and took a DNA test." Kirk shifted in his seat, muttering, "I didn't have a choice." But before Rashida could respond, the host slid the opened envelope toward him. Kirk's face fell as he read the paper. His silence said it all. The words burned into the minds of everyone watching. Kirk Frost is the biological father. The set froze. Rashida stood up instantly, her chest heaving, her voice cracking with rage. "You knew? Don't stand there looking stupid. You knew this whole time, and let me carry the shame. You let people drag me, humiliate me, for years." Kirk shook his head violently. "No, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know for sure until now." But his words fell flat. The audience erupted in gasps and whispers. Scrappy put his head in his hands. Young Jock muttered under his breath, "Man, this is bad. This is real bad." And then, as if the chaos couldn't get any worse, the producers pulled their dirtiest trick yet. The doors opened, and in walked Jasmine. The crowd lost it. Screams, shouts, boos. The energy was electric, and Rashida's face turned white with shock. Jasmine, dressed in a sleek black dress, walked in calmly, her head held high, holding her son's hand. The cameras zoomed in mercilessly, capturing every ounce of Rashida's horror. This wasn't supposed to happen. Rashida yelled at the producers. "You set me up. You blindsided me again." Jasmine's voice cut through the noise. "He's the father. I've been saying it for years, and now y'all finally believe me." The tension exploded. Rashida lunged forward, pointing at Jasmine. You ruined my family, you ruined my marriage, and now you want to sit here acting like you're the victim. Jasmine didn't flinch. She fired back. No, Rashida, Kirk ruined your marriage. Not me. You knew what kind of man you married. Don't blame me for his choices. The room went silent for a split second, just long enough for Rashida to process the words. And then she snapped. You don't get to stand here and justify it. You don't get to walk into my life again and rub this in my face with theories so Kirkman knew he was the dad and let Rashida get embarrassed again. He's the villain, not Jasmine. Producer's dirty, but Kirk dirtier. Ain't no way you do your wife like that on camera. This is why Rashida should have left him years ago. Even celebrities weighed in. Tamar Braxton posted a cryptic tweet. Some men just don't deserve a good woman. Period. Candy Burris went live, shaking her head. This ain't entertainment anymore. This is a woman's heart on display for ratings. Back on set, Rashida couldn't take it anymore. She ripped off her mic pack, threw it on the floor, and screamed, I'm done. Don't follow me, don't touch me. She stormed toward the exit, tears streaming down her face, while Jasmine stood in the center of the stage, stone-faced, refusing to back down. The cameras followed Rashida into the hallway, catching every Salome, every sob, every curse word. She pushed past crew members, yelling at producers. Y'all think this is a joke? You think this is just TV? This is my life, my marriage. And you ambushed me on camera like I'm a fool? Swear I'll never forgive you for this. Meanwhile, inside the studio, Kirk sat crumbling. Young Jock leaned over to him and whispered, Brr, she's never coming back from this. But what no one expected was what happened after Rashida left the stage. Sources say she went straight into the producer's office and threatened to shut the entire show down, and her next move, reportedly calling her lawyer. The moment Rashida stormed off set, the internet erupted like wildfire. Clips of her slamming the table, screaming at Kirk, and pointing her finger at Jasmine spread across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok within minutes. Fans didn't even wait for the official episode to air. Audience members who were in the room leaked shaky cell phone footage. And by the time the sun rose the next day, hashtags were trending worldwide. #Team RASHEED, #Kirk exposed, #LHHATL scandal.twitter was brutal. One viral tweet read, Rashida forgave this man for years, only for him to set her up on live TV like this. Nah, he's the villain of the decade. Another fan wrote, producers are disgusting. Rashida didn't deserve to be ambushed like that. This is exploitation at its worst. But not everyone sided with Rashida. A handful of messy voices began to argue that Jasmine wasn't the one to blame. At least she was honest. 1. Instagram comment read, racking up thousands of likes. Kirk was the liar. Jasmine just proved what she'd been saying from day one. Meanwhile, Rashida herself stayed silent, at least on social media. Insiders say she turned off her phone for the night, locking herself in a hotel room with only her sister by her side. But her silence only fueled more speculation. Fans flooded her old posts with comments like, blink twice if you're leaving. Him sis, and we ride for you no matter what. Just walk away. Then came the leaks. Screenshots of text messages allegedly between Kirk and Jasmine surfaced online. One showed Kirk writing, keep it quiet until the show. Don't say nothing until they reveal it. I'll make it up to you. Jasmine's alleged response, you owe me more than you know. Don't try to act brand new when it's out. Real? Those texts prove that Kirk wasn't blindsided at all. He knew he had time to prepare. But instead of warning Rashida, he let her walk blindly into a trap. Fans lost it. Instagram exploded with side-by-side memes of Kirk smiling next to captions like he knew the whole time. TikTok creators reenacted Rashida's meltdown with dramatic audio overlays, turning the moment into a viral skit format, and then celebrities chimed in. Candy Burris went live on Instagram, shaking her head, clearly upset. "I've known Rashida for years," she said. "She doesn't deserve this. Y'all don't understand, when you sign up for these shows, you don't expect to be ambushed with something that deep. This ain't right." Tamar Braxton tweeted late at night, "A good woman's breaking point ain't entertainment. Period." Even Cardi B got dragged into the mess when fans started tagging her in memes, comparing Offset's past scandals too. Kirk's behavior. She didn't comment directly, but she liked a tweet that said, "Men embarrass women publicly, then expect forgiveness privately." By this point, the narrative had spiraled. Rashida wasn't just a reality star dealing with a cheating husband. She was being framed as a martyr, the woman who sacrificed everything only to be humiliated for ratings. But there was still more fuel to add to the fire. A podcast released leaked audio supposedly from a crew member where Kirk could be heard, angry, telling producers, "I didn't want it this way, but y'all said it would boost ratings. I told you she wasn't ready." True, it meant producers orchestrated the entire ambush. And worse, Kirk went along with it. Fans called for boycotts of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. A petition with over 25,000 signatures popped up online demanding VH1 apologize to Rashida and reconsider their contracts. Some fans even said Rashida deserved her own spinoff, away from Kirk and away from the producers who betrayed her. Meanwhile, Rashida's silence shattered when she posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with the words, "Some pain you can't come back from." The post instantly went viral, with blogs reporting it as a divorce hint. And then, just when fans thought they'd seen it all, Jasmine herself poured gasoline on the fire. She posted a picture of her son on Instagram with the caption, "He finally knows the truth now. Took long enough." The comments were savage. Fans flooded her page, some praising her for finally getting her respect, while others dragged her as a homewrecker. One comment summed it up: "This is bigger than you. That boy got caught in the middle of a mess grown people created. Shame on all of y'all." But the drama didn't end there. Another leak hit the internet. A photo of Rashida, allegedly, meeting with a lawyer the morning after the DNA reveal. If true, it meant divorce wasn't just speculation anymore. It was real. The internet collectively held its breath. Was Rashida finally ready to cut ties with Kirk Frost after years of humiliation? Or was this another cliffhanger producers would stretch into yet another season? The fallout from Rashida's explosive walkout was bigger than anyone could have imagined. By the next morning, gossip blogs were running headlines that read like obituaries for Kirk Frost's reputation. Kirk's final betrayal, Rashida done for good. DNA bombshell could end love and hip-hop forever. The footage hadn't even officially aired, but the leaks, the grainy cell phone clips, the alleged text messages, the cryptic IG stories had already done the damage. Fans weren't just angry at Kirk anymore, they were furious at the producers. And that rage was spreading fast. One major entertainment blog wrote, "Reality TV thrives on drama. But there's a line between messy entertainment and cruelty." What Rashida endured was a public ambush, not a storyline. If the producers think this will boost ratings, they may be in for the opposite, a mass boycott. And they weren't wrong. By mid-afternoon, a petition calling for VH1 and Mona Scott Young to apologize to Rashida hit 50,000 signatures. Twitter threads dissected every frame of the leaked footage, with fans pointing out Kirk's suspicious silence and Jasmine's carefully timed entrance. Many claimed the whole ordeal was staged, but the pain on Rashida's face, that was all too real. The hashtags only grew louder. Hashtag boycott TL. Hashtag protect RASHEEDA hash. Ex-Kirk exposed. Even Rashida's celebrity peers were weighing in. Toya Johnson posted a message on her Instagram story: "A woman can only carry so much. My heart hurts for Rashida. K. Michelle, never one to hold back, tweeted, "That show has been exploiting women for years. I've been said it." What shocked fans the most, however, wasn't the outside commentary. It was the cast themselves. Screenshots of a supposed cast group chat leaked online, and they were brutal. In one, young jock allegedly wrote, "Brr, Kirk really sat. They're knowing the whole time. SMH, he's dead wrong," Scrappy reportedly added. "I feel bad for Sheeta, but producers foul too. They set her up." Even Spice, known for stirring the pot, apparently chimed in with, "It's too much. They crossed the line this time." The leak gave fans the confirmation they wanted. The people on the inside were just as disgusted as those watching from the outside. Meanwhile, Kirk tried to save face. In a desperate attempt to control the narrative, he gave a phone interview to a popular Atlanta radio station. His voice was shaky, defensive. "I didn't want it to go down like that," Kirk said. "I didn't know for sure. I swear I didn't. The producers, they pushed this whole thing. I'm not the one who made it messy," but his excuse backfired. Fans weren't buying it. Comment sections were flooded with backlash. So now it's the producer's fault. Be for real, Kirk. You could have told Rashida privately. You let her walk blind into humiliation. The industry, without her, the show would lose one of its longest-standing, most respected cast members. Fans said flat out they wouldn't watch without her. A major gossip site wrote, "If Rashida exits and pursues her own project, VH1 may lose not just one star, but its credibility with viewers who feel the network prioritizes trauma over truth." And then came the whispers that made fans lose their minds. According to insiders, Bet Plus had already reached out to Rashida, offering her a potential spin-off deal if she chose to walk away from LHHATL. Imagine a show where Rashida tells her own story on her own terms. The insider teased. That's what Bet wants. And honestly, it could happen. Fans immediately latched onto the idea. Hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDA spinoff and hashtag Justice for RASHEEDA began trending, fueling speculation that she could finally break free from the cycle of humiliation. But just as the industry was rallying around Rashida, Jasmine dropped another bomb. She went live on Instagram, smirking as she said, "Y'all mad at me? For what? I told the truth. I didn't lie. Kirk lied. Rashida chose to forgive him, not me. That's on her. Don't project y'all anger at me. He's the father. That's it." The comments were brutal. Thousands flooded her live, calling her heartless, messy, and thirsty for clout. But others defended her, arguing that she had been vilified for years while Kirk played the victim. And the worst part? Through it all, Kirk stayed silent on Instagram, posting nothing but a random picture of his sneakers with the caption, "Focus." On the grind, fans tore him apart. "Focus on your family, not your shoes." One comment read, "Another said your grind cost you your wife. Congratulations." By the week's end, the scandal had gone from messy TV moment to full-blown cultural conversation. The betrayal, the producer's alleged exploitation, the leaks. The celebrity reactions, it was dominating headlines everywhere. But just when people thought things couldn't get more intense, a shocking new development surfaced. Court documents. According to a leaked filing that circulated online, Rashida had indeed met with a lawyer, and the paper suggested she wasn't just exploring divorce, but actively moving toward it. The internet froze. Was this really the end of Rashida and Kirk after all these years? By the time the leaked court documents hit the blogs, the internet was already drowning in chaos. The filings seemed to suggest Rashida wasn't just considering her options. She had already sat down with lawyers and discussed divorce proceedings. Screenshots of the alleged paperwork spread like wildfire, with fans zooming in on every line, trying to decode the truth. One section in particular made people lose their minds. Undergrounds for separation, the words irreconcilable. Differences and repeated infidelity stood out in bold. It was the confirmation fans had been waiting for. Rashida was done. Or was she? Because almost as soon as the leak surfaced, Rashida posted a cryptic story on Instagram. A blurry photo of her wedding ring sitting on a dresser with the caption, "Decisions." The single word sent her fan base spiraling into speculation. Was she teasing a final goodbye? Or was this her way of keeping viewers hooked for the next season? Meanwhile, Jasmine wasn't finished. She doubled down, posting a video sipping wine with the caption, "Told y'all he was the daddy. Guess I was right all along." The smugness infuriated Rashida's supporters, who flooded Jasmine's comments with venom. "You ruined a family. And you're bragging," one fan wrote. Another added, "Sis, the only reason you're relevant is because you had his baby. Humble yourself." But then the biggest shocker of them all, a blind item on a gossip blog, claimed that Kirk Frost wasn't just tangled up with Jasmine. Allegedly, another woman had come forward behind the scenes, quietly pushing for her own DNA test. It's a rumor. Suggested that Kirk could have yet another child outside of his marriage. One he's been hiding from both Rashida and the public. The internet went nuclear. True, this wasn't just another scandal. It was the end of Kirk's entire image. Fans began speculating about who the mystery woman could be. Some pointed to an old fling from years ago. Others believed it was someone tied to the industry. A dancer Kirk had been linked to during his club hopping days. No confirmation ever came. But the rumor itself was enough to shatter what little credibility Kirk had left. Imagine Rashida forgiving one baby outside the marriage and then finding out there might be two, a fan tweeted. "Sis needs to pack up and leave for real." Another viral post read, "At this point, Kirk Frost building a whole daycare behind Rashida's back. Enough is enough." Inside sources claimed Rashida was beyond livid when she caught wind of the rumor. According to one insider, she told, "Producers flat out, if y'all knew about this and didn't tell me, I'll sue everybody in this building." And let's not forget the cast reactions. Spice allegedly went on IG Live saying they're using Rashida like a storyline. She don't deserve it. This is too much. Young Jock, ever the comedian, reportedly cracked a joke in a club appearance. "Man, Kirk need his own Maury show at this point. Cue are the father." Every week, the crowd roared with laughter, but the sting was real. Through it all, Kirk remained eerily quiet. No Instagram lives, no public apologies. It's just silence. Which for many fans was the final insult. This man embarrassed his wife on national TV, had her storm out in tears, and now he won't even face the music publicly. One blogger wrote, "Coward behavior." But Rashida wasn't staying silent anymore. Days after the court documents leaked, she went live on Instagram. Her face was tired, her voice shaky, but her words were crystal clear. "I've carried this marriage for too long. I've forgiven, I've prayed, I've stayed strong. But everybody has a breaking point. Y'all don't know the half of what I've been through. This was my last straw. I can't live in lies anymore. I can't." Tens of thousands of fans flooded the live with support, spamming hearts and comments. "We love you, Rashida." And leave 'em, sis. You deserve better. But the part that really set the internet ablaze came at the end of her live when she whispered through tears, "Sometimes the hardest decision is the only decision. I just hope y'all will still ride for me no matter what I choose." And with that, she ended the stream, leaving millions of fans hanging on the edge of their seats. Because now, the world wasn't just asking whether Rashida would divorce Kirk, they were asking whether she was ready to walk away from the show. The franchise, and the brand that made her a household name. In the days following Rashida's emotional live, the internet stayed locked in. Every gossip blog, every YouTube channel, every fan page was dedicated to one question. Was this finally the end of Rashida and Kirk Frost? The court filings, the DNA bombshell, Jasmine's smug posts, the rumors of another secret child, it all painted the picture of a marriage beyond repair. But what made the situation even more explosive was the silence from Kirk. He posted nothing, not a statement, not an apology, not even a vague working on myself message. Just a single story of him at a studio session looking unbothered. The backlash was immediate. Unbothered while your wife's heart is shattered. Disgusting, one fan commented. Another wrote, men like this only care about the grind when they should care about their family. The silence wasn't just hurting Kirk's reputation, it was destroying it. Behind the scenes, whispers grew louder. Insiders claimed Rashida had completely moved out of the family home, staying with close friends while she figured out her next steps. A friend allegedly told a blog she's not playing this time. Papers are already being drawn up. Kirk doesn't realize it, but he lost her for good. But if fans thought the drama had reached its peak, they were wrong. Because another shocking twist dropped like a grenade. A woman came forward anonymously through a gossip outlet, claiming she too had a child with Kirk Frost. She didn't reveal her face, but her voice, disguised on the recording, said enough. He promised me he would take care of us, but he told me to stay quiet. I stayed quiet because I didn't want to hurt his wife. But now, seeing how he treated Rashida, I can't keep the secret anymore. He needs to be exposed for everything. The internet went insane. Was this the rumored other woman fans had been speculating about? Was there truly another hidden child in Kirk's messy past? Memes exploded. Side-by-sides of Kirk with captions like Father Abraham with all these kids. Twitter turned savage with posts reading, "At this point, Kirk Frost could start his own daycare franchise. Rashida dodged multiple bullets. Free her immediately." And just when fans thought things couldn't possibly get darker, a leaked screenshot from an alleged DM exchange surfaced. The screenshot showed Kirk allegedly begging the mystery woman not to go public. "Please don't do this. My family is already falling apart. I'll make it right." Whether the screenshot was real or not didn't matter. The damage was already done. Blogs ran with it, headlines screamed, and the narrative shifted once again. Kirk wasn't just a cheater. He was a man living a double life. Meanwhile, Rashida remained poised in silence, save for one chilling post. She uploaded a picture of herself in all black, sitting in her boutique, captioned, "New chapter loading." Fans went wild. Was this confirmation she was moving on? Was she hinting at divorce papers being filed? Was this a subtle signal that Rashida was preparing to tell her OWN story on her OWN terms, away from VH1 and away from Kirk? Industry insiders began whispering that Rashida was fielding offers for solo projects. Bet, Zeusnet. Network and even Netflix were reportedly interested in giving her a platform to speak her truth. She has the fan base, one insider said. She has the story. People will watch whatever she does. And without Kirk dragging her down, she could finally shine the way she was meant to. Fans flooded social media with support, begging her to take the leap. "Sis, leave the toxicity behind. We'll watch you, not Kirk." Another comment read, "Imagine a Rashida Talal docuseries. Netflix, make it happen." But the final blow came when another leak surfaced, a supposed email exchange between Rashida's lawyer and the Love and Hip Hop producers. In it, the lawyer allegedly demanded that footage of the DNA reveal not be aired without Rashida's consent. If true, it meant this wasn't just personal drama anymore. It was a full-on war between Rashida and the very show that built her platform. And fans knew one thing. If Rashida walked away, she could take half the viewership with her. And then, silence. Rashida vanished from social media. No posts, no lives, no stories, nothing. Fans are now left wondering, is she gearing up for the biggest announcement of her life, divorce, departure, or both? Or is there another shocking twist waiting in the shadows? One Kirk hopes never sees the light of day. Because in Atlanta, nothing stays hidden forever. And the truth, The truth has only just begun. This wasn't just another messy moment in love and hip-hop. Atlanta. This was the breaking point of a marriage we've all watched for over a decade. Rashida walking out after Kirk's DNA bombshell wasn't just TV, it was history in the making. But now, the real question is, where does she go from here? Will she finally end things with Kirk once and for all? Or will there be yet another shocking twist